Computer, load holodeck program USS Defiant Mark II prototype. Begin program. What's up guys, Instagram1 here, and it's been a while since I've done a video like this. Ooh, they've implemented the Christmas chest. I didn't know they did that. That's cool. Well, I mean, I knew that they added that to Minecraft, but I didn't know. Oh, right, it's Christmas Eve, duh. Anyway, besides that, it's been a while since I've actually made a Movecraft ship, but, since I am working on Movecraft 4's episode 14, I am working on that, I thought I might as well design a few more ships, and this is the first one, new wave of ships I'm working on. So this is the Defiant Mark II. So this is an improvement upon the original Defiant design. Actually, if I go ahead and load up the original Defiant design here, you can see what it looks like. So take a look here. This was the original Defiant. It used the old cannon systems, and it was kind of small, and the shape didn't really match the Defiant at all. This is based off of the Star Trek Defiant. The shape didn't match, and it was small, and it didn't look good, and yeah, there were a lot of problems with it. But I have redesigned it, rebuilt it from the ground up, and so this is the new Defiant design. So firstly, on the outside, as you can see, I've better matched the actual design of the Defiant from Star Trek. Still not perfect, but it's pretty good, I would say. Pretty good. So yeah, this is based off of the USS Defiant from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and I believe it had a cameo in First Contact too. You know, it's from Deep Space Nine. But yeah, that's not really much to say about the exterior. Let's take a look at what we have inside. So, this is the bridge. Obviously, it's a pretty standard bridge layout. We have our navigational controls here, and we can fire the various torpedo tubes using these remote signs here. The Defiant is equipped with 4 torpedo tubes with 2 torpedoes in each. So as you see, we have torpedo tubes A, B, C, and D. I might have them mixed up. Yeah, A, B, C, D. Torpedo tubes corresponding to these signs here. So not only does it have 4 tubes, but it also has 2 torpedoes in each. As you can see, so we have C1 and C2 there. And all of these can be fired from the bridge. There's no need to manually reload or go and hit the signs on any of them. You can manually fire them if need be, but you can also fire them from the bridge. So for example, if I wanted to fire tube A1, oh well, I have the craft first, fire tube A1, as you can see, it shoots out the first torpedo from tube A, and if I hit the sign for tube A2, it fires the second torpedo. Obviously, you do not want to fire the second torpedo before you fire the first one. The ship will actually let you do that, but obviously you should not, because if you fire the second torpedo before the first one, then it will hit the first one and they will both blow up, which is no good. So that's the torpedo controls. If you want to, you can actually fire all 4 in a sequence like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's like a torpedo spread, which I think is pretty neat. And then they do have to be manually reloaded once you've used both torpedoes in a given tube. Then you do have to reload them, but you do get 2 shots before you have to reload, whereas normally you only get 1. The old Defiant had this too, but I just thought I'd mention it again. This is in the new Defiant as well. Also, we have our forward-facing cannons here. As you can see, we have 4 cannons facing forward, which can be fired using these levers here. So if you don't have a gunnery crew and you don't want to go to each cannon manually and fire them, this one controls the left side cannons, this one controls the right side. Oh, maybe create the cannons first. This is sort of a thing. can load them and fire them, as you can see. So, yeah, the bottom 2 cannons on either side can be fired using these levers, although the top 2, they do work, although you have to fire them manually, which you can do. And they all have chests full of ammo next to them, so you can reload them that way. You don't need to manually load all of them. Also, along either side here, we have chests filled with repair components. Here you'll find all of the materials needed to repair damage to the ship if it comes to that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to implement the repair sign. The current version of Movecraft supports you can create a sign that allows you to repair your craft once you're out of combat. However, this doesn't work with this particular ship design. I'll explain why. Because, as I'm sure you can tell, most of the ship is made up out of double stone slabs, right? You know, the double slab. There's a bit of single slabs in there too, but you know, it's mostly double. And since those make up the bulk of the ship, obviously those are what you need to repair the most. However, due to, I don't know if it's a bug or it might be a feature, but just the way that 1.8 works, you cannot have double slabs in your inventory anymore. You can still world edit them in, but you cannot have double slabs in your inventory. You used to be able to, but you can no longer do that. I think it crashes your game or something, but all I know is that Bucket refuses to generate them, and I'm not going to argue with Bucket. Oh, Spigot, I guess, technically, because, you know, Bucket is dead using Spigot. I just call it Bucket. Force of habit. But, yeah, so you can't actually use the repair sign because the repair sign currently isn't smart enough to just use these slab blocks here, the single slabs you can get in your inventory. Currently, the repair sign is not smart enough to just use 2 slabs in order to create a double slab. That might be a neat feature to see implemented, but currently that is not a feature, so I cannot use repair signs. However, you can still repair the ship manually, and there's plenty of resources to do that with. We also have along the other side, we have this array of turrets, and this is new here. So each of these obviously is a turret, and with the way cannons are set up, turrets can fire in a 360-degree arc. However, they are much less powerful than the forward cannon. So the forward cannons are much more powerful, but they have a very limited firing arc. And then these turrets, you can aim them just by right-clicking on the turret, and then holding down Shift, and you can aim the turret that way. It's aiming where I'm pointing it. You can't really see that, but it is, trust me. Point it over to the side, for example. And then you can fire these by shift right clicking on the thing. Actually, I probably should aim this like safe. There, that should be safe. And you can fire the. You can't see it, but you can see its impact over there. So yeah, you can fire these. All of these turrets can be aimed individually. They all have these chests here, so you can load them that way. But yeah, you have a bunch of turrets along the other side, and these are useful if, as you see, most of the weapons are concentrated in the front part of the ship. If the front part gets blown off, then you can use the turrets as backup weapons, or if, say, you have enemies above you or below you, well, not below you, if you have enemies like to the side or behind, you can, without having to rotate the ship, you can just aim these at them, and that works fine. And you have the same thing on this side too. So that's basically all the weapon systems for the most part. If we move further back here, down the corridor, you can see we have a bomb bay, which is currently not loaded. I like to keep my bomb bays unloaded when I save schematics because I just think it's safer that way. Because sometimes when you load a ship in, like a redstone signal will get delivered to this for some reason, and then it'll blow itself up, which is no good. But bomb bay is functional. Bombs, and you can store bombs in the chests here. Although, as I said, keep it unloaded. You also have a nice little window into the other room, which I think is a nice touch. So this is the bomb bay. Moving further back, we have one more room, which is we have the living space and auxiliary control, which I've now moved into the same area. There are no beds on the ship because I'm having some troubles with beds breaking with Movecraft. Don't know why, but again, server troubles. But you could easily put beds here. There's space to put them there if they do end up working. Storage, and we have furnaces and crafting tables. So some utilities back here, and then we also have auxiliary control. So you have full navigational control from back here. The only downside to piloting the ship from back here is you can't make use of the dogfighting helm. That's kind of a term I made up, but what I mean by that is, so you know how in Movecraft, when you use the helm sign, it rotates the ship around the helm sign. So if you have the helm sign on the bridge of the ship, then the ship rotates around its nose, and that doesn't look good. So if you pilot the ship from the helm, you'll notice from the bridge, you'll notice that the helm sign is not actually a helm sign; it's a remote sign, which goes to this sign here, which is placed in the exact center of the ship. So if you command the ship from the bridge and use this helm sign, and then when you rotate the ship, oh well, it's obstructed, but you know, if you could rotate it, then if you rotate the ship around that point, then it would rotate around the very center. So it gives you better maneuvering capability. You don't need as wide of a turn angle to be able to turn, and it also just looks better in general. So that's the only disadvantage to piloting from the rear here, is that you have just a basic helm sign, and not the centered one, because I figure if you're piloting from back here, then that's probably blown up anyway. So standard helm sign from back here. That's the only disadvantage. Other than that, it's a perfectly functional command. You also even have a mini viewport here. Not very good, but you know, it's there. So this is the new Defiant. You can download the schematic from the description below. If any of you have your own Movecraft server, you can use the schematic. Also, keep note that obviously this does not work with Bakayara's Movecraft configuration, the one that's default with Movecraft, with Airship and so forth. This does not work with that. This works with my Movecraft configuration, which you can download in the description below. I have one download that consists of all the plugins and so forth that you will need configured in order to be able to run this. It contains the Movecraft plugin and this elevators plugin and the Movecraft configuration files to make all this stuff work. So you just need to load those files onto your server to make this actually, workable. And then there's another download for the ship itself. It's a standard world edit schematic. So yeah, hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. And I will be using this ship design in Movecraft Wars. So yeah, this is about it for this video then. Goodbye.